What's going on, everybody? This is Cy the Guy. This is the Go Home Show. No fluff, no nonsense. Let's talk about some of the goings on this week in the pro wrestling community. Welcome in. If you have, this is a debut, re-debut, so to speak, on this channel. I wasn't really going to get into this story because it's been covered at nauseum already by so many people. But it's gotten so out of control and so big, it's almost impossible to ignore at this point. We're going to be touching on the Ricochet situation a little bit. I do have some very unfiltered, no-nonsense opinions on this thing. So let's get into it. If you didn't see the tweet that set the IWC ablaze this last week, Ricochet was criticized by a fan on X. And if you know anything about Ricochet, and it's not just him, it's a lot of people in both the AEW and the WWE locker room as well. They do not take kindly to criticism. It's understandable to a certain extent. None of us like to be criticized. When I look at what the lady said on X, I don't think it was that bad. In fact, I question why it warranted a response. I don't think it warranted a response. The lady criticized Ricochet's acting skills. Still can't act. Or something along those lines is what she said. Ricochet then responded back, "I'm glad you got MS," was his response. It's kind of concerning when somebody doesn't have that last filter, especially being in Ricochet's position where he's on national television. He's on a weekly episodic TV show, and he doesn't really have that last filter saying, should I say this? Is this a good idea? So he responded very distastefully. Now, he did later apologize. So I guess it's up to speculation is how much his apology is worth at the end of the day. I do have a couple other tweets here from Ricochet, well, posts on X anyway. Here's one that I find to be hilarious, coming from Ricochet himself. And I'm going to read this word for word. This is not me speaking in any way, shape, or form. It's so hilarious that the amount of little bitches who has tweeted and wished harm on me, who has wished even death, said some of the most vile things to me and my wife. People who try and make fun of me every day. But those same little bitches can't take it when I do it back to people. Fucking pussies everywhere. That is what Ricochet tweeted out. Is he wrong with the death threat stuff? No. I mean, unfortunately, the IWC is full of, and it's not all of us. I mean, if you're watching this channel, if you're watching your favorite creator, you're good. But unfortunately, especially on X, the IWC is full of absolute scumbags. And only a true piece of trash would threaten death on somebody and somebody's wife. So Samantha Irvin, Ricochet's wife, was getting tons and tons of death threats. One that I read here is, and she deactivated her account, so way to go, losers, on that one. This guy took the time out to DM Samantha Irvin and told her, understand something. After what your man did, blood is expected. The gentleman who messaged her this, his profile picture looks like James Mitchell from TNA. Absolute fucking loser is what that guy is. If you're doing that kind of stuff, you seriously need to get off the internet and you need to figure out where your life went wrong, because that's fucking ridiculous. Now, Samantha Irvin getting death threats, not okay. Even Ricochet getting death threats, not okay. Now, the other side of this is where Ricochet goes off and he calls pretty much the entire IWC fucking pussies everywhere, he says. I find that interesting. That's the part I found the most interesting from this whole thing. Ricochet calling anyone a fucking pussy is interesting because he's somebody that got a commentator removed from a House of Glory show because he can't handle criticism. You're on television weekly on a very public platform. You're going to receive some criticism, bro. I don't understand the can't handle criticism when it's given to you, but then you turn around and call everybody else fucking pussies. You, sir, are one of the biggest pussies on planet Earth, and that's part of the problem. So, and then another response that a lot of IWC members have responded to this situation with is, well, what if MJF said it? Listen, if MJF said this exact tweet to that same lady, he would be in just as much hot water. Do I think Ricochet is going to lose his job? No, I don't. I don't think Ricochet is going to lose his job at all. Because AEW, despite the fact that they are, in my opinion, the superior in-ring product at the moment, and it's not for lack of talent with WWE, but they usually put on better matches overall, right? Especially recently. AEW is not run like a naval ship like WWE is, right? It's not run from the aspect of, I'm the owner, I'm not going to allow this, I'm your boss. You don't really get that feeling. A lot of the way AEW is ran from a business standpoint is the inmates are running the asylum. So do I think Ricochet is going to be punished for this? I think he might, if you remember, they have sent quite a few wrestlers to what's called sensitivity training, whatever the fuck that means. I think Ricochet might be doing something, participating in something like that against his will. But I don't think he's going to lose his job at all. So, but it's just unfortunate all the way around, and it absolutely could have been prevented. Is the thing, if he had just thought about what he was saying. Just I have met people who have MS. We've all probably met people who have MS. It's an unfortunate situation for anyone who encounters MS. And it was just very fucking insensitive and childish to say. End of story. It's a grown man. It's a grown man. You should have known better. End of story. Now, if you're sending death threats to anyone, I kind of agree with Ricochet on that aspect of it. You are also a pussy. So, that's all I'm going to say on that topic. It kind of dominated the headlines this week. Rightfully so. It's a big deal. One thing that has not dominated the headlines in the same way that story did is, what the fuck is WWE's WrestleMania plans for Gunther? Do they really not have plans for this guy? If not, the question is why? Gunther's, I would say he's a pretty good fucking pro wrestler, right? I would say Gunther's pretty important to the WWE product. I mean, this is the guy that they built this entire, he's the career killer, right? You had him retire Goldberg, retire John Cena. He should be treated like a big fucking deal. It's the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. And you're treating him like he's after fodder, like he's just yesterday's news. I don't understand how WWE has fallen off this hard creatively. And it begs the question, was Vince McMahon involved in WrestleMania 40? I used to think no. But I see what Triple H and this awful creative team has come up with since then. And in my head, I think to myself, there's no way this is the same fucking guy coming up with these ideas that we're watching play out on weekly television. Up until that Obafemi Brock Lesnar face-off this last Monday, it hasn't felt like WrestleMania at all. Outside of that, outside of, Cody Rhodes getting his ass handed to him by Randy Orton, and the first two Roman Reigns CM Punk promos, the third one missed the mark. It was pretty mid-tier, if you ask me. But outside of those scenarios, none of us would know it's WrestleMania season. If the fucking sign wasn't hanging there in the rafters, would any of us know that it's WrestleMania season? No, absolutely not. This is one of the most poorly booked WrestleMania seasons I can remember. And they've had some, make no mistake, WWE has had some fucking awful WrestleMania seasons, especially in the last decade, right? And make no mistake, I'm not advocating for Vince McMahon to come back. No, not a chance in hell. No chance in hell, Vince. If you remember when he was in charge from, I would say the time period was probably from like 2014 to 2020. The product was so fucking awful and unwatchable on a weekly basis, particularly in 2017, 2018. It was unbearably bad. And do I think we're at that point currently? No, but I think we're too close for comfort, and we should be nowhere close to this bad. Especially, WWE has the most talented roster on planet Earth. Excuse me, I'm getting fucking sick. You have the most talented roster on planet Earth. And these are the creative directions that you come up with. Now, if you watch WWE Unreal, which I don't really, I caught season 1, and I caught like the first episode of season 2. The reason why is because every time I see those creative meetings, I automatically get pissed off. How can you watch that as a fan? Because if you're a hardcore fan of pro wrestling, you dream book all these scenarios. We all do it. If you watch that Unreal show and you see the fucking awful ideas that these idiots at this table come up with, I feel like us fans could come up with way better ideas than these fucking clowns ever could on their best day. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know how you leave one of your mega superstars like Gunther out of the loop for WrestleMania. I don't understand how you keep fucking over one of the guys that everybody wants to see succeed in LA Knight. Make it make sense, bro. How does that make sense to you? How do you sit there with a straight face and say, it's about giving the fans what they want. It's about striking when the iron's hot. It's about making money, which WWE is doing hand over fist, well, TKO, because they're fucking over every normal family because now they can't afford to go to the shows. So they're going to make money hand over fist because the prices are astronomical for tickets at the moment. And then they want to advertise cheap tickets for WrestleMania. Just shut the fuck up. Also, if you're going to charge absurd prices, TKO, maybe you should make sure the shows are at least interesting to watch. So you're going to tell us that we're going to pay more and we're going to enjoy this slop that you're feeding us. Go fuck yourself. No thanks. Pass on that. I'll enjoy it from my couch as I talk shit about the show with my wife. Thanks. LA Knight, no plans. Gunther, no plans. I mean, what have we gotten so far build-wise? I mean, we've seen a little bit of Liv and Stephanie, right? They need to dial up the heat on that one quick. We've seen some Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio. Doesn't hit quite as hard now that the IC title's not going to be on the line in that one. You know, they need to turn the heat up on that one. We got CM Punk and Roman Reigns. The first two promos, I think, kind of got us all invested. That last one was a miss, but it's all right. I really wish, though, they would stop billing it as one of the biggest WrestleMania matches of all time. Cut it out with that shit, all right? CM Punk's almost 50. Roman Reigns is in his early 40s. He wrestles 5 times a year. It's not going to be Austin Hart, right? It's not going to be Shawn Michaels Undertaker. It's never going to be that. So stop saying bullshit just because you think it looks good on a headline, all right? Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes. Same kind of scenario. It's not going to be a barn burner match. It's not going to be one that you look back and you're like, you know what? That was an amazing fucking match. That one's more about the story and the history that Cody has with Randy. That one, they're doing pretty decent work with that one, I will say. Although taking the title off of Drew McIntyre was bullshit and made no sense. But that one's all right. Then we got Jade and Rhea, who nobody fucking asked for at all. Nobody asked for that. You know, outside of 2 decently booked feuds and a couple feuds that you really need to get the ball rolling even more, what the fuck do we got for WrestleMania? We don't have anything, and it is approaching the end of March. And these guys get paid millions of dollars to come up with these fucking shitty storylines. How does that make sense? And then they have the nerve to look at us, the fans, directly in our eyes and tell us, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Excuse me, sir. I do know when something sucks. And then for Triple H to get mad when we voice that opinion, fuck him. Your show sucks, sir. Your show sucks. You bury guys continuously that you should be pushing. Ray Phoenix. LA Knight. But then claim to be so in touch with the fan base. Go fuck yourself. Where's Gunther's WrestleMania plans? We got like 3-4 weeks left. Are you leaving LA Knight off the card? What's the deal? Why aren't we getting Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams? Fucking awful creative. Don't have my hopes up for WrestleMania 42. Hopefully WWE can turn it up in the next upcoming weeks. I don't have my hopes up, like I said. Ricochet, think about what you post, man. I don't understand what went through your head when you were responding to that old lady with that. Also, before you call anyone fucking pussies, you might want to look in the mirror. That's all I have for this episode. I will see you tomorrow for my SmackDown review after my overnight shift. So if I look like a zombie, be prepared. Y'all have a great night.